This is from Chief John Lightly. Man fights more fire than I'll ever see. And if John, if you'd like to tell us the specifics of this, I'm going to play it, and then you can explain it if you're still here. This is a basement fire and has a single pane window. Watch what happens when he scans the window. And if I'm reading this correctly, there's a bush there. John, you like to chime in and tell us about it if you're still here?
Chief, able to hear me okay?
Yes, sir, Chief. Go ahead.
Yeah, real simple. You had a direct impact on this fire for my guys, having taught me to look at these thermal bridges. In the video, I scanned across, picked up that heat signature, went back, and then to a colder area, and then back just to verify for myself. A single pane window. I went back to the rear of the house where the guys were going to make entry to the basement fire, and I simply said, down to the bottom of the stairs. Yeah, right there, Chief. You got real good convection coming up over their heads. I said, you got to get low, get to the bottom of the stairs fast. Never jam up the stairs with 2 or 3 people. Let the guy with the nozzle get to the bottom quick. I said, when you get to the bottom, flow to the right. And then the other thing that was a benefit, Chief, was it kept my, I knew what to do with my ventilation. I positioned my ladder guy at the proper window, and we waited until we heard that line open up. And it was a thing of beauty. We heard the line open up. He took the window, and all this beautiful, ugly stuff came out, and the fire went out. But that's all credit to you, Chief.
Oh, that's awesome. I love hearing stories like that. And that's the whole point of this, is that you took it and you applied it. And like you said in your point earlier, be the guy carrying the camera, because now they're starting to listen to you, whereas before they weren't. And they're putting the fire out faster, right? So.
And Chief, if I may, because I was first on scene, the front of the house, heavy, thick, ugly smoke pushing out of the front door. Neutral plane was about a third of the way down, and the occupant was standing on the door hacking and coughing, or standing on the front porch hacking and coughing. Most of my guys would have gone straight in to that front door. They would have crawled across the basement fire. And so, but I got her off the porch. I continued at 360. The rear door where this fireman is going down had already, the storm door had melted through.
Yeah, you can see that in the picture here, right here.
Correct.
It's already folded over. Yes, sir.
And that's exactly what it is. The heat on the bottom, right where your cursor is, and above that is still the window frame. So that's the part that's already curled down. And that there wasn't a whole lot of ugly stuff pushing out of that, visible ugly stuff pushing out of that rear door. But by the time I came back around to it from my 360, it was definitely evident. But gentleman, I think, asked in the chat, how long did it take? Quite honestly, Dirk, from the time I parked across the front yard, I came down the Delta side, because that was where the driveway was, and on the Bravo side, which is where I was looking through the window, had a bunch of poison ivy, so I did that side last, because that just makes sense. Quite honestly, about 45 seconds to a minute, which was enough time for my first pump to be arriving, parking brake, and it's procedure for us to go ahead and start stretching the line to the front door until directed otherwise. So they already were in the process of stretching the line, but I was able to direct them down the driveway. But the process worked. My crews did a great job. Thanks, Chief.
Well, Chief Lightly, inform him, you have how many stations in your department?
I have 7 stations, 9 apparatus, 29 on duty a day.
How many fires did y'all run last year?
Last year, we did about 225. So that's not pots on the stove.
Yeah,
counting as a fire. If it gets into any of the structure itself, it's a structure fire.
So 7 stations, 225 fires. You saw way more fire than I did. We got 43 stations and 1,100 people. So kudos to you coming to work for you.
No, all you, Chief, all you.
No, sir. Thank you for sharing. I greatly appreciate it.